Swimming like a shark in a shrimp tank. Big fish, small pond in the shrimp tank.
Hello, and welcome to the video wrap-up show for the Shrimp Tank podcast in Seattle. I'm Dan Whedon, and I'm joined by my co-host, Linda Popke. We had a fascinating, fun, and I think a really, really important conversation today with our guest, Erin Murphy. You're going to want to watch or listen to the entire thing. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. You can also find all our episodes on our brand new, or I should say, redesigned website at shrimptankpodcast.com/Seattle.
Okay, well, Erin, we had a fascinating discussion about what you're doing about helping people age in place and have a forever home. And I wonder if you could talk a little bit about what you can do with existing housing stock, because certainly it's wonderful to build new houses from scratch that consider this, but most of us live in a house that's got some issues. So what can we do, considering that we don't want to dump our current home and we want to do the best we can to stay in it as long as possible?
Yeah, great question, Linda. And I know we elaborate on this in the full podcast, but 70% of our advice is just good universal design for aging in place. And those types of modifications are just going to work better for everybody. Things that we can change once you've got space. Maybe the kids are gone, they're off to college. You can think about your next phase of life in your own home. 70% of that is good design, and it's just not what the spec builder does. The other 30% comes from asking good questions like a designer, architect does, which are about what's your family history medically, or what do you struggle with? Are we going to have a knee problem or an eye problem right? Because that piece of advice, and we get other professionals involved. We're going to get a contractor involved. We're going to get an occupational therapist involved, or your PT if you just had a surgery. But as far as the things that we'll normally look at, it might be everything from an elevator at the high end to a zero threshold shower where you can move in and out of a shower without a curb. And we can change the framing on your second floor to make that be a flush floor situation with a little bit of effort and a lot of long-term benefit. So the return on investment when you're investing in your own safety at home, well worth it.
Erin, one of the reasons I know I wanted to have you back, you're a former guest and it's been a few years, but you've got a new brand coming out, which I found really, really cool. And I'm going to want you to share about it. We talked a lot about it on the full episode of the podcast, so everybody should listen to that. But Forever Home goes beyond our little corner of where we are in Kitsap County outside of Seattle. What you're trying to do with this is really something that's going to benefit not only the architects and builders who are doing this, but the people that they service. Talk a little bit about your new brand, Forever Home.
Yeah, thanks for asking, Dan. So Forever Home, I've been speaking on stages about aging in place once a month for the past 13 years. And that's been typically B2C to the consumer, who then might call our firm and have us do a remodel design. Forever Home will actually end up being kind of a three-legged stool, which is Erin's own entrepreneurial 2.0. Okay. And one leg of the stool will be that I will be out speaking nationally to industry professionals at conferences. Another leg of Forever Home is that we're actually going to create aging in place stock plans. We're going to have house plans online because nobody is doing that correctly and nobody's done it well enough in today's internet age. And then the third part is our goal is actually to train the trainer. We're going to teach remodelers. We're going to teach occupational therapists that do home health and home assessment type visits how to become an expert in their local community so that they can be getting those phone calls and helping more consumers. It's time for me to leverage what I've learned over 15 years and go out and train the trainer nationally. So that's what we're going to do with Forever Home.
What a fantastic idea. And I'm looking forward to seeing this. And I think it's so much needed. So thank you, Erin, for being here and being our guest on the Shrimp Tank. For listeners who want to get in touch with you, find out more about what's going on, how can they get more information?
Yeah, for right now, I think the easiest thing is just to get a hold of us through our website. You can do info@adm-architecture.com. And soon you're going to see a launch of foreverhome-us.com.
All right. Okay. So go and check out our entire episode because there's lots of great information there. It was a fun episode. And when you do that, check out all the replays on shrimptankpodcast.com/Seattle and wherever you get your podcasts, such as iHeart, Apple, Google, Spotify, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Overcast, because damn, what are we?
Linda, we are ubiquitous.
We are ubiquitous. And you can follow us on our show's social media pages on YouTube, YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram.
Well, Aaron, thanks again for joining us. It was great to have you back. We're excited to hear about all that you're doing with Forever Home, and we'll have you back soon just to tell us how it's going. Linda, as always, thank you. Please, everybody, join us every week at 12 p.m. Pacific for our live stream broadcast on our Facebook page. Just as Linda said, our next show will be on November 16th. Please join us. Until we see you again, be healthy, be prosperous, and have fun. Because until next week, the shrimp is back in the tank. So long.
I've been feeling like a shark in a shrimp tank. Big fish, small